ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। ओम श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः। ओम श्री वल्लभा समेत श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। ब्रह्मणि अदृश्यत्व उपपत्तिः. The previous section was about drishyatva being a hetu for mithyatvam. Now, one of the Purva Pakshas there was Brahman also is a Drishya, therefore Brahman will become Mithya if Drishyatva is a Hetu for Mithyatvam. But we argued that Brahman is Adrishya. Brahman cannot be seen by anybody as an object. It is always of the nature of subject. So that is the argument we are making. But then the Purva Pakshis also have a point because there are Shruti Vakyas like Drishyate tu agreya buddhya manasa eva aptavyam. All these are there. So how do we reconcile that? So that's why now the vichara is starting to show that Brahman is actually adrishya, or it cannot be an object of your cognition or even an object of any action actually. So that is what is being analyzed now and shown that Brahman is actually adrishya, it is tenable. So we start with this Nanu Brahmanaha Swayam Prakashatvat Adrishyatvam iti uktam. Okay, so the Brahman, how can it be Adrishya? Because it is Swayam Prakasha. It shines by itself. Only those which cannot shine by themselves, they require some other conscious entity to be known. Okay, or they can be known because some other conscious entity is shining on them and then they become evident to that conscious entity, we can say. But Brahman being consciousness itself and it is shining by itself and there is no other consciousness in fact for Brahman to become an object of another consciousness. So it is always of the nature of the subject as we said. So it is Swayam Prakasha and it is Adrishya. Now once we say this, the Purva Paksha is coming here. He is saying Tacha Swayam Prakashatvam Anubhava Rupatvad iti uktam. So how do we know it is Swayam Prakasha? Because that is our Anubhava. Even if I ask you, are you there? Your existence need not be known through the operation of any means of knowledge. So there need not be any Pramana Vyapara. In fact, every Pramana Vyapara implies the presence of consciousness already. Therefore, that consciousness is always there in each and every cognition. It is the basis for the Pramata, Prameya and Pramana, all three. So that is what we are talking about here, and that is Swayam Jyotihi. It shines by itself and it cannot be shined at by anything else also. That also is there in the meaning. When we say Swayam Prakasha, not only it shines by itself, nothing else can also shine on it. Okay. So, and it is Anubhava Siddha. That's why it is the Anubhava of everybody that I need not know myself by operating any means of knowledge. Now, once we say this, then the Purva Paksha is there again. Okay. What do they say? Tatha cha brahmanaha anubhava rupatve siddhe swayam prakashatva siddhihi स्वयं प्रकाशत्वे सिद्धे सति अनुभव रूपत्व सिद्धि इति अन्योन्याश्रयात् न कस्यापि सिद्धिः इति. So what the Purva Pakshi is saying is, you are saying that Brahman is Anubhava Rupa and therefore it is Swayam Prakasha, and also it is Swayam Prakasha, therefore it is Anubhava Rupa. Like this, there is mutual dependence. Okay. So a lot of things are mutually dependent in the world, correct? Even subject object is mutually dependent. So whenever there is mutual dependence, then we say there has to be a third independent entity which is supporting these mutually dependent entities. In fact, this comes even in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. There is a Madhu Brahmana. So anything which is mutually independent, mutually dependent is called Madhu. Okay, and Madhu is basically Mithya. And then Brahman is revealed as that which is the Adhara for this Madhu. So like this, there is a Madhu Brahmana also. Anyway, so here this Anyonya Ashraya dosha is there, therefore both are not established, he is saying. Kasyapi siddhihi na. So if you say like that, what? Ma evam, it's not like that. Why? Why? Because he's saying, see, Brahmanaha anubhava rupatvam swayam prakashatvam cha iti ubhayam shrutya eva siddham. So in fact, we are not establishing this anubhava rupatvam and swayam prakashatvam or adrishyatvam, all these things also. We are not establishing it by anumana. If you say that we are establishing it purely by anumana, then you can say that this this sadhya is due to this hetu, and that hetu itself becomes a sadhya because of the previous sadhya and all that. If it is like that, then you can say there is anyonya ashraya. One depends on the other depends on this, and therefore it's not correct. But here, all these things, whatever we say, Swayam Prakashatvam, Anubhava Rupatvam, Adrishyatvam, all these things are established by the Shruti itself. In fact, we have Shruti Vakyas. Shruti is the only pramana, in fact, to reveal these things to us. And even any tarka we use is only Shruti Sammata tarka. And what is the role of that also will be discussed now. So what we are saying is, it's not even Anumana. So if it is not Anumana, then there is no question of any Anyonya Ashraya. And so then we are quoting the Shrutis now. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam Iti Shrutehe. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam Jnanam Nyapti Swarupam Vijnanam Anandam Brahma also is there. Prajnana Ghanam also is there. All these lot of Shruti Vakyas are there to show that Brahman is Anubhava Rupa. Yes, Sakshat, Aparokshat Brahma also is there in Brihadaranyaka. So all these things are showing that Brahman is Anubhava Rupa, and Brahman does not require any other means of knowledge to reveal itself. And also Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam, that alone shines, and everything else shines after this Brahman alone. Of course, this particular mantra is there both in Mundakopanishad and Kathopanishad. And this we chant every day in our temple also during the Karpura Nirajanam. So these things are all very well known. So we are establishing the Anubhava Rupatvam and Swayam Prakashatvam with Shruti Vakyas. Further what? Yattad Adreshyam Agrahyam. This is the Mundaka Shruti. So this also Adreshyam, Agrahyam. Even in Brihadaranyaka also similar Shrutis are there. So Adrishyatvam api Siddhameva. So even the Adrishyatva we are talking about based on Shruti Vakya. So none of this is based on any Anumana. Therefore, there is no question of any Anyonyashraya dosha. Okay. Then what? Na atra kinchidapi sadhyamasti. Nahi vayam Shrutya siddham kimapi sadhayamaha. So what he is saying is, see here, we are not establishing anything through inference. That's what he is saying. Na atra kinchidapi sadhyam. So there is no anumana sadhya is not there. These things are all already established as facts by Shruti. They need not be again re-established or re-revealed by anything else. So they are not even a sadhya for us. Then only we will be looking for any hetu, correct? And further he is saying, Nahi vayam shruti asiddham kimapi sadhayamaha. So whatever is not established by the Shruti, we will not be even talking about it, or we are not trying to establish anything which is not revealed by the Shruti already as a fact. So, but what do we do? Kintu yat Shruti siddham, yatcha vidvad anubhava siddham, tadeva yukti bihi iri kurmaha. So then why are we even using tarka or yukti? Means whatever is already revealed by the Shruti and whatever is in keeping with the Vidvad Anubhava, in keeping with the Anubhava of the wise people, that alone we are again making it firm through Yukti, because there can be doubts. Correct? That's why we have Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. For, for somebody who is a Uttama Adhikari, the Shravana alone is good enough. But Manana, Nididhyasana, etc. are required for Manda Madhyama Adhikaris. So, the Adhikari Beda also we talk about. So, based on that, all these things are required. So, those who can be swayed by other people's opinions or even some Shushta Tarka, for them we have to again show with Tarka also that Shruti, whatever is Shruti is revealing, that alone is proper. So, in this manner, the Tarka is useful to assimilate whatever is revealed by Shruti and by Vidvad Anubhava. Okay. Further, what we are saying, Kevala Shruti Apekshaya Tarka Sahita hi Shruti hi Prabala. Okay, another thing is, sometimes two Shruti Vakyas may seem to be contradictory. Now, which one do we take? So, there also, how do we interpret, etc. If you see, there Tarka is useful because whatever the Shruti is revealing, just the Shruti Vakya alone, if you take it separately and look at it, it may say something. But then there is another Shruti Vakya which is also in keeping with Tarka, means that is Prabala, that is stronger than just the Shruti Vakya. And based on that, we in fact interpret the previous Vakya also. So one example he is giving here, Yatha Akshay Yagum Havai Chatur Masya Yajinam Yajinaha Sukrutam Bhavati. So the Chaturmasya Yajinaha, one who does the Chaturmasya Yaga, for that person the Sukritam, the Punya, Karma Phala itself is called as Akshaya, thing which never gets over, okay, which never exhausts, correct? Never declines, Akshaya, not Shayati. Means how is it possible? Can we have a Nitya Phala for Karma? But Shruti is saying this. But Shruti also is saying so many other things, correct? So, Sukritam Bhavati iti Kevala Shruti Apekshaya. So this is the Shruti. This is the Shruti Vakya alone. So if you go with the Kevala Shruti Apeksha, means only by this Shruti Vakya, then you will conclude something. That Chaturmasya Yaga you do, then you get Nitya Phala, you go to Swarga and enjoy it forever. Eternal heaven concept. But then Shruti itself is saying what? Na karmana, na prajaya, dhane, na tyage, naike, amritatvama, nashuhu. Or it is in so many other places it is saying that all this karmana, whatever you have gained, it will go away as soon as the karma phala comes to an end. All this Shruti Vakyas are also there. But anyway, so there are other Shruti Vakyas which are contradicting this Kshaya Phala for the Chaturmasya Yaji. Now, which one do we take? Means this Nakarmana Naprajaya also goes along with the general principle or Tarka, correct? Yat Kritakam Tad Anityam. So, whatever is created, it will come to an end. It will be destroyed. Whatever is created in time will also end in time. Okay, this principle, it's a general principle that Tarka is there. So, the Shruti which is going along with this Tarka is taken as Prabala. And therefore, we reinterpret the Akshaya as long time. Eternal means it's not like Nitya, really, but you will enjoy in the Swarga for a very long time. It will not end quickly. So that is the meaning of Akshaya. We reinterpret the Akshaya like that. Because the other Shruti, which is in keeping with Tarka, is powerful in comparison to the previous Shruti. So Tarka Anugrihita Prabala. Okay. Further what? Yadyapi Tarkopi Shrutya eva pratipadyate tathapi Shruti pratipadyasya tasya tarkasya pratitarka nirasanena stairyam vayam sampadayamaha. Okay, the other thing is sometimes Shruti itself is using Tarka also. We saw that even in Brihadaranyaka, whatever is Shruti has revealed first, then it uses different analogies and all that, and it uses some kind of a Shruti Sammata Tarka for you to understand whatever it is revealing. So even if the Shruti itself uses Tarka also, even then that Shruti Sammata Tarka or Shruti Pratipadita Tarka we are saying, even the Tarka itself is revealed by Shruti, but there can be other Shrutka Tarka which is against that. Okay. Okay. So the Prati Tarka can be there. So to negate or cancel all those things and give a certain firmness in your knowledge, we may still use Tarka. So Tarka can be used to establish whatever Shruti is revealing. But mostly, in fact, we use Tarka to show how any other argument is all illogical. In fact, we use a Tarka a lot like that. In fact, there are granthas, entire granthas for that. Or you can call it even Jalpa. The Jalpa Vada is mainly to not even establish your own Paksha. You just show that every other Paksha is illogical, it cannot be maintained. So for that also Tarka is useful. And indirectly then we establish whatever Shruti says alone is proper because everything else doesn't work out. So for that also Tarka is used. Therefore what nacha yetavata siddha sadhana dosha. So from this what do we understand? There is no siddha sadhana dosha. Because siddha sadhana dosha they can say that whatever is already revealed by Shruti, why are you even talking about it again and why are you talking about Anumana, etc.? Means we have already explained Anumana is useful in two ways. One is to even interpret the Shruti itself, Anumana is useful. Another is Anumana is useful to show every other opinion as illogical, unreasonable. And whatever Shruti reveals alone is reasonable. Therefore, this Tarka is useful and Tarka is not doing a Siddha sadhana or it is not establishing whatever is already established and there is no dosha in using Anumana like this. Okay, further. Thapi yadi Shruti Pratipaditasya Arthasya Upapadanam Siddha Sadhanam iti manyase. Okay, even then if you say no, you are again Ishtasya Peshanam and all we say. So you are grinding the flour which is already ground, okay? Or you are only revealing whatever the Shruti has already revealed. You are again using Tarka only to establish that. Therefore, Siddha Sadhana dosha is there. If you maintain that, but they are saying your book is not a pramana because of that. Okay, because you are doing there is a Siddha Sadhana dosha. Then Bellangonda becomes annoyed now, I think. So he says, Tarhi Twadiyam bhashyamapi siddha sadhana doshagrastameva iti. So whatever, why are you writing any bhashya then? This is like, see, there is a book called Bhagavad Gita as it is. Now, my Puja Swamiji used to say, if it is as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is means there should not be any commentary or anything there. Correct? Then give only the Bhagavad Gita verses. But then they have written lot of commentary which is all like doesn't make any sense really speaking. And call it Bhagavad Gita as it is also. Like that, you have written all this commentary. What about the Siddha Sadhana dosha for you then? Why are you pointing the finger at me? If you point a finger at me, three fingers are pointing at yourself. So please look at that. So, Twadiyam Bhashyamapi Siddha Sadhana Doshagrastameva iti Shanto Bhava Prajnavanasi. So he's saying Prajnavan, I think he is using it sarcastically here. So you are very highly intellectual. Think about this and then be calm down. Shanto Bhava. Don't get too excited with this argument. It applies to you also. Okay, anyway, therefore what? Tasmat Brahmanaha Swayam Prakasha Anubhava Rupatvad Adrshyatvam iti Titam. So since Brahman is Swayam Prakasha and it is Anubhava Swarupa, it is actually Adrishya because it never becomes an object of your experience or your cognition. It is very Swarupa, the Drashtri. That is the Siddhanta. Okay, once we say this, now they come back. What? Nanu Yadi Evam, if it is in this manner, what? Brahma Adrishyam Anubhutitvad Vyatirekena Ghatavaditi Anumanena Brahmanaha Adrishyatvam Sadhyate. Okay, so how are you saying Brahman is Adrishya? And in fact, even if you say Brahman is Adrishya, Anubhutitvat, let us say Anubhutitvam is the, or Anubhuti Swarupa is the Hetu for saying that Brahman is Adrishya. You cannot give any Drishtanta for that because there is no other Vastu which is like Brahman, correct? Brahman alone is there, which is in this manner. So you have to give only a Vetireka Drishtanta, like it is not like Ghata. Okay. Unlike part, Brahman is like this, Brahman alone is like this. So you can only give a Vetireka Drishtanta, and that is the Anumana, let us say. Brahmanaha Adrishyatvam, you are establishing using the Anubhutitva Hetu, and then, but Drishtanta you can only give something which is not like this. If you give the like this, he is saying Tarhi Kala Atyaya Apadesha iti che. So Kala Atyaya Apadesha is a Hetu Abhasa. Okay, it is a dosha in Anumana. Something like if you say, let us say Agnihi Shitaha Dravyatva Jalavat. You can give all kinds of Anumana like this. So Agni is Dravya and all Dravya are Shita like Jala. But you can't give Anumana like this because it goes against the very Pratyaksha, correct? So even though you may give an Anumana like this, when you have the Pratyaksha of Agni, Pratyaksha uh, Anubhava of the Agni, then what happens? It is hot, it is not cold or anything. So that in time is negated. Badha alone is called Kala Atyaya Apadesha actually. So when it is negated or when it is Badhya, when it becomes Badhya, then we understand that the Anumana is not correct. Anumana is negated by Pratyaksha. So like this, even whatever you are making this Anumana, Brahma is Adrishya because it is Anubhuti Swarupa and all that, goes for a toss because Brahman becomes Drishya, he says. That is his argument. Brahman is Drishya, that will come and negate your contention that Brahman is Adrishya because it is Anubhuti Swarupa. Now, once he says this, what do we say? In fact, Vellangunda himself is explaining Pramana Virodaha hi Kala Atyaya Apadeshaha. So, whatever dosha, this Kala Atyaya Apadesha you talk about, that is nothing but the Anumana being opposed to some other pramana, whatever is revealed by some other pramana, and that pramana being prabala can negate the anumana. But that is not the case here. Okay, that's what he is saying. Such an asti eva, that is not there in this case. Why? Veda pramana siddhatvat asya arthasya. So when we say Brahman is adrishya, like we said already, we are not establishing it by anumana. Anumana is only make it sthira. Actually, it is established by the Veda itself. So whatever you are saying does not apply here, because the adrishyatva of Brahman is Veda pramana siddha for us. Okay, once, and we are quoting Shruti also. Yattad adreshyamiti Shrutihi atra Shrutihi atra manamiti. So this Yattad adreshyam, the Mundaka Shruti, that is the pramana for us in this case. Okay. Once we say this, what? Now the Purvapakshi comes. Nanu yattad adreshyam iti shrutya brahmanaha samanya drishyatvam nishiddham. Okay, now they are saying, I agree, yattad adreshyam is there, but that is a samanya shruti. That is in general it is said. See, whatever is generally said can be negated by specific context or whatever. A specific situation can negate the general wisdom, because there are always exceptions for any rule. Okay. So he's saying this is samanya, this shruti. Means for normal people, Brahman is adreshyam. Brahman cannot be known by normal people. Okay. But it is known by wise people alone. So drishyate tu agreya buddhya iti shrutya tu vishesha drishyatvam vihitam. So samanya is adrishya. But then there is also a shruti which says drishyate tu agreya buddhya. So the agreya, when you say, that is a special type of buddhi, sharp intellect. The one who has, means samskritena manasa, because manasa eva anudrashtavyam also. When you say where that manas is a particular type of mind, correct, which is prepared, which is pakwa. Already it has been cooked very well. Mature mind, which has a certain disposition. Through that you can know. So Vishesha Drishyatvam is there. Shruti itself says. And therefore the Samanya is always trumped by the Vishesha. Correct? The general is overridden by the specific rule or specific knowledge. And therefore Brahman is Drishya. And he explains that also. Visheshena hi Samanyam Badhyate. So in general, anything which is specific will override the general. And in fact, he is giving an example. Yatha ma himsyat sarva bhutani iti. So there is a shruti that do not kill or hurt any being. That is the Shamanya shruti. But then shruti itself is saying that you have to have Pashubali in Agnishtoma. Okay, Agnishtomiyam Pashum alabheta iti Vishesha Shrutya Badaha Tadvaditi. Even ahimsa, anyatra tirthebhyaha, like that it is there. Even in Chandogya Upanishad, last vakya talks about ahimsa. But then anyatra tirthebhyaha also is said there. Anyatra tirthebhyaha means other than whatever is sanctioned by the Shruti itself. Okay. In all other places, you should have ahimsa. Like this, the Shruti, there are specific Shrutis which override the general Shrutis. And in this case, we do not consider this, that the ma himsiyat sarva bhutani cannot overrate whatever is specifically said for agnishtoma. Agnishtoma only, whatever is said for agnishtoma will overrate the general revelation. So vishesha shrutya badaha tadvaditi. So the samanya shruti has been negated or overridden by the vishesha shruti. Like this, here also you have to take iti che ma evam. It's not like that. Why? Yadi brahma samskrita buddhya drishyate. Tarhi sa buddhihi kena drishyate. So if you say Brahman is known by the Samskrita buddhi, correct? Agreya buddhya means we say that a buddhi which is well prepared, which has all the qualifications, etc. Assuming that we accept that Brahman is, even the word drishya, how it is drishya and all we explained already. The drishyatvam of Brahman is only with reference to the destruction of ajnana. It is not really a drishya in the sense of objectification. But keep that aside. If you say that Brahman is known by a mind which is well prepared, okay, then that buddhi itself is known by whom? Because even you do not accept buddhi is jiva. Even the Vishishtadvaitin, for them also, Atma is other than the Deha, etc. Deha, Indriya, Manas, all these things. Atma is other than that. So now he has to say that buddhi is known by the jiva, correct? Kena drishyate means jivena. Okay. Now that jiva is known by whom? So jivaha kena drishyate means he will say brahmana, by Brahman. Brahman is the Paramatma. So for them, Brahman is different. Okay. There is a Paramatma which is in fact sitting as an antaryami within the jivatma also. Okay. Everywhere it is the antaryami. So that jiva is known by Brahman. But then what happens? That Brahma kena drishyate, but Brahman itself is drishya, you are saying. Who is knowing this Brahman? Again, go back. Samskrita buddhya. Sa buddhi kena drishyate jivena. Sa jivaha kena drishyate brahmana. Means this is chakraka. So evam chakraka apattihi. Circular logic is coming. Circularity. This is a problem. Or you say no, no. This buddhi is seen by jiva, but jiva is not seen by Brahman. Okay, let us say. Yadi tu sa jivaha brahmantarena drishyate. So that jiva is known by something other than Brahman. And what is that then? Tacha brahmantaram buddhyantarena. Or you say that Brahman itself is some other Brahman. Brahmantarena can be taken as even like that. And this brahmantaram buddhyantarena, that Brahman is known by another buddhi, let us say. And that buddhi, that other buddhi is again known by some other jiva. So to escape chakrakam, if you say that there is another Brahman, another buddhi, another jiva, and again if you, that will again lead to anavastha only, correct? Again another like that, there is no end to this. So either you get caught in chakraka, or to escape that, if you say there is another Brahman, another buddhi, another jiva, and then for that another Brahman, another buddhi, another jiva, another Brahman, another buddhi, another jiva, like that it will keep on going, and therefore anavastha will come. So whichever way you look at it, you have problems. Okay. Now let us say, okay, even another problem also is there. What? Aneka Brahma Kalpana Doshascha. So with all these things, what? This, there will be multiple Brahmans, or other than Brahman, something will be there. Advaita Ani will be there. So all these problems are there. Aneka Brahma Kalpana Doshascha. Okay. And further we say what? Nahi Shrutihi Brahma Anekatvam Brute. So Shruti is not teaching many Brahmans or even anything other than Brahman. In Brahman, there is no duality. And that's what it is saying, what? Ekameva Dvitiyam Brahma iti Shrutehe. So Brahman is Ekameva Dvitiyam. So that is the Brahman. And further what? Picha Yadi Brahma Drishyam Syat Tarhi Drashtr Naiva Syat Ghatavat. Okay, further if you say Brahman is drishya, then it cannot be a drashta. There will be a problem there also. Okay, Brahman cannot be both drashta and drishya. If you say Brahman is drishya, it will be like ghata. And ghata is not a drashta, correct? It will become achetana. If you say Brahman is drishya, it will become achetanam like ghata and it cannot be a drashta. So that's what he is pointing out now. There is a problem there also. So, natu drishyam bhavati salila eko drashta advaita iti shrute. Also, Brahman can never be a drishya because he is quoting, this is from Swayam Jyoti Brahmanam in Brihadaranyaka. Salilaha ekaha drashta advaita. All these words are used for Brahman. Salila means it is like pure water. Okay, the purity. Salilaha talks about the purity of Brahman, Shuddhatvam. It is ekaha and it alone is the drashta because here even that Sushupti is talked about. So even in Sushupti, is Brahman seeing or not? Pashyanneva na pashyati. Like this the Shruti says. Seeing only does not see anything because there is nothing else to be seen in Sushupti. But its nature of being a drashta remains for Brahman, even though it does not see anything. Even when no drishya is there, Brahman is alupta drike, we say. It is unceasingly seeing because it is avinashi. Okay. It is drishte drashtaram and all that. Vedanta is beautiful. So that portion. So it is the seer of even sight and its capacity to see never stops. That is basically it is a conscious entity. It is always conscious, whether anything is to be known or not. So salila eko drashta advaita iti shrute. So there is a shruti also. So it is only a drashta. Therefore what? Nacha drashtratva drishyatvayoho astu samanadhikaranyam iti vachyam. Okay. Once we say this, what? These Vishtadvaitins have to say this. So they are saying, no, drashtratvam and drishyatvam can be there in the same locus, same vatu, same adhikarana. So they are talking about samanadhikaranya of drashtratva and drishyatva. So both can be there. What is the problem? Means you cannot say that. Why? Eka kriya निरूपित कर्तृत्व कर्मत्वयोः क्वापि सामानाधिकरण्यत्व प्रदर्शन. So in one action, the same thing cannot be both the subject and object. Correct? In one activity, kartri karma virodha. So if the karta and karma are same for the same activity, that is wrong. That cannot happen. The subject and object cannot be the same. In fact, there is no drishtanta for that. In fact, when we said, even previously we talked about it in the previous section, I think. Then they are saying, no, the eyes can see in the mirror and all that. But there it is only, it's not seeing, the eyes are not seeing the eyes themselves, correct? It's only seeing the reflection and all that. We argued that. Anyway, so they are talking about samanadhikaranya of karta and karma. That is a problem. So then what? Okay, but at the same time, it need not be there, but it can be there at different times, correct? Now Brahman is Drashta, later on it becomes Drishya. Can't we say that? That is the next argument they are making. Nacha Kala Bhedat Drishyake Samanadhikaranyam iti Vachyam. So due to Kala Bheda, for the same activity, it need not be the subject and object, fine. But what about right now Brahman is subject, okay? And later on it becomes object. And it is the object, according to them, it is the object for Jiva only, correct? When it becomes Drishya, Jiva or the whatever, the Buddhi is the one which is seeing Brahman and all that. So, it is subject for something else, object for something else, and at a different time. Why can't we say that? Means that also you can't say. Why? Tarhi drishyatvam yada bhavati brahmanaha tada drashtritvam naiva bhave. So when the Brahman becomes drishya later on, then it won't be a drashta. Both cannot be there in Brahman. And that is not desirable to you also, correct? Nacha ishtapattihi brahmanishtasya sarvajnasya kadachitkattva prasanga. So if you say that Brahman is not a drashta anymore or at any point in time, then Brahman cannot be said as sarvajnaha also. Sarvajnaha means sada sarva kale sarvam janati iti sarvajnaha. The sarvajna cannot suddenly become a drishya and not be a jnata, correct? It is not, it is no more a knower, it is only a known, it cannot become like that. Then you cannot call it sarvajna also. All knowing and all that, it is a problem. The sarvajnatvam of Brahman also will come and go. That cannot be really called as a sarvajnatvam itself. Kadachittatva prasanga will be there. Kadachittatvam means what? Kadachit, when the taddita, you say this kadachittatvam means sometimeness. You can say in English, kadachittatvam means sometimeness. Sometime it is sarvajna, sometime it is not. It becomes a known object and jada. So that is a problem. And also what? Yaha kopi vidwan sadapi brahma pashyati eva iti sarvadapi brahmanaha drashtritva bhava prasangacha. Also some wise people, they are all brahmajnanis, means they are always brahmajnanis only, correct? That means they are always seeing Brahman according to you. If they are always seeing Brahman, then what will happen? Brahman will be always drishya and it will never get it will never be a drashta then. And it will lose its sarvajnatvam permanently. Okay, or it can never be a drashta. Drashtatva abhava prasanga will come for Brahman because it is always seen by some jnani. Some jnani is always there. That means Brahman becomes a drishya for one or the other jnani, or even the same jnani who is always seeing that. All these problems are there. Okay, once we point out all these things, what are they saying now? Nanu yatha yugapad ubhau ghatau paraspara parasparamasina nihataha tatha briva brahmani yugapad anyonyam pashyate pashyate iti chet. Okay, now they are saying, see, you take in a war. Okay, now two people are fighting, and then both of them can at the same time they they use the sword, and this fellow pierces the other guy, the other fellow pierces this guy. At the same time, both of them are killing each other. Okay, let us say. Okay, asina nihataha. So this fellow also is cutting the other fellow, or he cuts off his head, and that fellow's sword also cuts off this fellow's head, or something like that. At the same time, both of them are dead, and in fact they are both subject and object, correct? Are both kirta and karma. So they are both actors or agents of action and object of action at the same time. How can, and similarly Jiva and Brahman also yugapad anyonyam pashyate. They can see each other at the same time. What is the problem? Okay, Brahman is seeing Jivatma, Paramatma is seeing Jivatma, Jivatma is seeing Paramatma at the same time. Means iti chet ma evam, that also you cannot say. Why? Tatra hantritvam eva dehi dharmaha hatatvam tu deha dharmaha eva. See, the hantritvam there is the dehi. Dehi is the one who is killing? The one who is in the Deha. And the killed is the Deha. Okay. So the Deha itself is not Anta. Understand that? The Dehi is the Anta. So the Deha alone is getting killed even in the battle. Two Dehas can get killed, but the Dehis are different. They are not mutually killing each other. In fact, the one Dehi cannot kill the other Dehi. One Dehi is killing the other Deha. So there you cannot say that Yugakat Anyonya, one is acting on the other, etc. So there is a difference. Whatever you are saying doesn't gel. So Antritvam Dehi Dharma, but Hatatvam is the Deha Dharma. Correct? Getting killed. The one who is getting killed is the body. And the killer is one who is there in the body. Therefore, that situation is not the same as what you are describing. Okay. So like this, they are somehow trying to establish subject and object are one and the same. Or Brahman can have both Drishyatvam and Drashtritvam, but it all doesn't work out. Whichever way we look at it, it is all very unreasonable and illogical, in fact. Okay. In fact, he is even explaining that Tatahi Mritadi Deheshu Hantritvam na Sambhavati. Atatvam to Sambhavati. So if somebody is sleeping or somebody is already dead, that person cannot become a killer, correct? So the killerness is not there in the body. So the killer is somebody who is in the body, the Dehi. But even a sleeping person can be killed. Right? Hatatvam tu sambhavati. Body has hatatvam always. It can be killed. But it is not the killer. So supta mrita murchitas chahi deha anyante natu gnanti paran. So whoever is sleeping or even a dead body can be cut further and destroyed. Okay. And somebody who is fainted. So these are the dehas which can be destroyed, but they cannot destroy or kill anybody else. Natu gunanti paran. So other people cannot be killed by a sleeping person or somebody who is already dead or somebody who has fainted. Okay. Further, what kincha kare chinne sati mama karas chinnaha iti pratyeti na evam anyam karena hatvapi mama karaha ahan iti pratyeti kintu hameva ahanam iti pratyeti यद्यपि हंतृत्वमपि अनात्मधर्मः एव निष्क्रियत्वात् आत्मनः. Okay, so anyway he is further taking it like even if your hand is cut, correct? So you say that my hand is has a wound or a cut, correct? Mama karaha chinnaha iti pratyeti. So you cognize that my hand is cut. And na evam anyam karena hatvapi mama karaha ahanniti pratyeti. So even if one hand cuts the other hand, nobody says that the other hand is the one which really cut this hand, correct? The hand doesn't have any kartrutvam. But I, who is acting through the other hand, cut this hand. Even though both are in my body only, I don't attribute any kartrutvam to the one hand and punish that hand or anything like that. What is your anubhava? I cut myself. But even there, that I, who is that myself and all, we have to see. If you analyze it, then we say that this, and of course, body is something which can be cut, which can be subjected to any kind of activity. But the Dehi alone is the one who is the agent. But even there, further we have to analyze. Once we come into Vedanta, even whether Atma itself is really a Karta or not. Correct? Veda vinashinam nityam enamajam avyayam katam sapurusha partha kam ghatayati hanti kamanal is there. It is Akarta always. And in fact, even in the Kathopanishad also, it is same thing is said. Yama is teaching that Atma is Akarta. So in fact, in reality, even the Hantritva dharma is also Anatma dharma only. It is all there in the mind, in the buddhi, or in the Upahita Chaitanyam and all we have to say. The conditioned consciousness only is the Karta Bhokta. In reality, the Atma itself is Nishkriya only. It cannot do anything. Tasya kartaram apimam vidya akartaram avyayam. Like that Bhagavan says. Even Bhagavan also says that. So Atma is akarta, abhokta, and it is also not uh, an object of action also. It is neither an actor nor an object of action. So nayam hanti na hanyate iti shastrad tatapi lokadrishtya etaduktam lokadrishtya idamuktam. So even when we say that Dehi is the Karta, that also is only from the Ajnani Drishti, we are saying, because Shastra Drishti is that Atma itself is Nayam Hanti Na Hanyate. This is also Gita only. Correct? Atma neither kills nor can it be killed. Knowing this, you engage in the war like that and all. Bhagavan teaches Arjuna, which is that by that he gets confused. And then in the third chapter he says, Vyamishreneva Vakyena Buddhim Mohayasi Vame and all that he says. So as though you are confusing me with contradictory statements, teach me properly. Like that he questions. Otherwise, Gita would have ended in the second chapter itself. Okay. So anyway, so that is the Shastra Drishti is even different. What we are saying here that Dehi is the Hanta and Deha is the Hata is only based on the Loka Drishti or in keeping with the transactional world. Therefore, Tasmad Yuga Pad Bhatat Dvayasya Parasparam Hananepi Tatra Chetta Bhataha Dehi Chedyaha Bhatastu Dehaha iti na Ativyaptihi. So even in the case of in a war and all that, when two people are cutting each other, even there what the Hanana is there, killing is there, but the killer is the Dehi and the killed is the Deha, is the body. So the one in the body is the one who is killing the other body. Therefore, there is no Ativyapti or anything. That the general principle that the subject and object cannot be the same in one action, it is not violated in any manner. It does not apply in this case. Okay, so further we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद.